Three, two, one. Lara Costa, always an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Hi,
How are
how's it
you?
going? Good, good. How are you?
Thank you for jumping in. I'm fantastic. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Let's get to it. So, why are we having this conversation? Why did you
Well,
join us?
I know I love telling people this story. So back in November, I felt really I had like a impending doom feeling. Recently I just built my own business 2 years ago. I started my entrepreneurship journey 2 years ago, and everything was too quick, too soon, too fast, too hard. Everything so quickly, like any entrepreneur. And my kind of like route to growth was like from freelancer to agency owner to like wanted to be CEO to scaling to descaling and then back down and then up, and there were like massive ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. For more context, I'm a social media creator and I'm also an entrepreneur, so it's like two completely different roles in what I have to do every single day. So one of them is very heavily dependent on the algorithm, whereas like up and down like mentally, then the other one is a business where it's like up and down like systematically. So a lot of it went really well. I beat a lot of my goals that I had, like lifetime goals, really quickly. And I felt really empty, lost, and burnt out because I was doing everything at one point. Like I was still acting as a freelancer while I was meant to be a creator and also a CEO and founder. And one of my good friends, Acosta, recommended this coaching program with you because he had a very similar problem. And I just kind of just needed some structure. I was incredibly burnt out. I hated everything. There was no systems, and my head was just, and I remember telling you this, I was like, I had stuff in my head, like it was like a lot of like noise. And now it's gone. So we're good.
Well, this was the whole point of it. So this was let's say I wouldn't call it identity crisis, but in a way it was, right? You were, as you mentioned, so much progress so quickly that you didn't have to adjust mentally to, the roller coaster of entrepreneurship, but also the new responsibilities. And how was it? Because we go very deep into, mental training and identity shifting and really adjusting to the road. So how has your journey been, and how have you navigated it with us?
So what I needed from you specifically was just someone to sit me down and be like, you're not broken. That's the first thing you told me. I was like, please fix me. I'm broken. You're like, you're not broken. You just need some help. And I got that clarity mentally with you. I laughed. We worked on a lot of like my time management. I am very chaotic just by nature. I'm a creative. So I needed control to the chaos while it being like regulated chaos,
Mhm.
because I that's what I need. And you told me exactly what to do. You guided me through the processes, and you also we did a lot of some tests of like how I naturally work,
Mhm.
and that like sort of that diagnosis of what I'm naturally good at as for work really just helped me feel fine with just how I'm supposed to operate, and it helped me just tailor my days into what fits better, like time blocking and all of those things that we went through. I just became just such a more optimized version of myself, which is essentially what I want. And I'm an athlete. So a lot of your philosophies really just come back to my core philosophies of like being a sports person and then applying it to business. Like you said something and like it sold me like in on display of like if you're an athlete and you have a coach, why are you not having a coach for yourself and entrepreneurship? I was like, duh. Uh, I've had coaches my entire life. Like I'm so dependent on them. So it just didn't make sense then to not hire someone to help me keep up leveling up my skill of like entrepreneurship. And now I have this like complete mindset for entrepreneurship, as in I see it as a sport. And I'm so hungry to win. Like since then, it's so cool.
I absolutely love it because it is a sport, but it is the most ruthless sport because you occupies 100% of your mind 24/7. You cannot really relax from it. It's very hard to detach, which is one of the biggest problems we see with our clients, that they end up identifying with the business so much that if the business goes well, they feel well. If it doesn't go as well, then they feel like shit. And that creates a lot of performance hiccups. And I think it's very good that you touch on the personalized nature of the program because you've heard me say this 1,000 times. It's like productivity and trainings will not work. Most blanket self-development advice will not work because you need to know exactly what you need right now. What is the thing that is preventing you from getting, the results you want? So that analysis of, hey, this is your chronotype, this is your natural tendencies, these are your strengths, this is your preferred way of working. All of that is what gives us information to really optimize you. Because a course without information on who you are doesn't really work that well, does it?
No, I agree. For me, it was like you had all the knowledge, but what I loved, Leon, was like we had our call first, and then you kind of like sort of like diagnosed me. And then you were like, okay, there's a course inside the thing, by the way. There's like entire course, there's like coaching course. And then instead of telling me to go through the entire course, you were like, go to module 1X, then this, and this, in this order. Instead of me going through all of it, you optimized it for my time because you were aware, like, you know that I have no time. So I really, really liked that you knew your course back and forth. You knew exactly what I needed at that exact same time. And I could just read it, take it, implement it, and then go away. And then I'll come back after like another month and I'll be like, I have another problem. Or like, I don't want to die anymore. And it was great. It was the most efficient way for me to improve quickly with very personalized attention. And I'm all in for implementation. I hate fluff. I hate long, boring theory. I'm not into it. Like, that's just not how I operate. I get very bored. So the fact that you were able to diagnose a problem, immediately give me the solution, and I could go away and implement, and then I can come back and ask questions about it. And your detail to me, the attention, like, hey, Lara, how are you doing? I was like, thank you. Because I'm so used to being on my own. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, like solopreneur at some points. And I'm just used to like not like just riding on my own, figuring it out, and just having someone in my team knowing that you got me when it comes to this. It was very, very appreciated too.
I love it. Well, that is my purpose. This is what I live for. This is what Selfmaster is helping you win. That's the whole purpose of a high performance academy for entrepreneurs. Just like, athletes go to the coaches for the Olympics, high performance training centers, we do the same with you guys. And this is why this is very valuable, because that is the work that we do. And then what happens? So what are specific changes on the personal side, on the business side, in terms of, whatever you want to share, productivity, mindset, calmness, how has your outlook and your performance changed?
Okay, so I got my return on investment on the master on this like 2 weeks in. Like, literally, we had a talk. I went and implemented everything. I cleaned my head. I did like what I needed. And 2 weeks in, I was so clear and ready to go that I got into full return on investment 2 weeks in. So that was amazing. I was like, okay, that. And then I was launching a cohort. When I joined, I was about to launch it in February, which was last month. And then we went to 2x our revenue goal. We hit about $150,000 launch for the cohort. And I don't think it would have been possible if I just didn't have that mental stability. A lot of improvement went into myself and how I felt. And I think that's, for me, I just need to be good for everything else to be well. And your help with time management just like kind of changed everything. Like, being able to tailor, pinpoint everything, being able to perform better. Like, everything's about performance for me. And again, back to the athlete comparison, like, if I'm feeling like I'm winning, and then I'm gonna win. If I feel like I'm training and eating well, and you're like, I'm feeding my brain with good stuff and consistently challenging myself and being surrounded by high performance entrepreneurs, which are in the mastermind, then there's no way I'm not gonna win. And also, I'm a big fan of peer pressure. If you put me in a group with like CEOs, a massive like 20 years older than me, and I'm like trying to compete against them, I have to have something to show. So I had every single call. I was like, yeah, I just made 20K. It's fine. No, but like something like that. I'm rich. No, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
I had no idea of the success of the launch. Congratulations. That's incredible. Well done.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I'm so happy. And listen, you've changed the way you operate. So this is not a kind of one-time marketing advice, just this, tweak this, boom, double results. No. You're a different person. And these protocols, the more you action them, the better you'll become. And in the beginning, the bottleneck was adjusting chronotype, time management, and helping you really work without friction, I would say, because there was like a lot of friction. But now the challenges or the bottlenecks are different. Now it's more on how can you balance the new success, and how can you keep having the same success without curtailing your performance. Because this is what I'm trying to say, is that this program basically helps you at each step of the way, which is incredible. But glad to see that you got ROI in 2 weeks. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh damn, maybe I should come to the course. But for me, I think it's all about being surrounded by the right type of people. One of the main reasons I joined the program, besides me being a chaotic mess, I needed someone to fix me. It was the fact that I was leveling up, and leveling up for entrepreneurs hurts, and it feels like pain when you no longer feel like you can compete with your friends. And I kind of like be that a level of my friendships that who were entrepreneurs, and I just needed to level up everywhere else. And having a network which you provide of high value entrepreneurs who are all in chase of success, whatever they might be, but like consistently leveling up, really, really helps you feel not lonely. Again, entrepreneurship is so lonely for me. It really hard. Like I just moved to a new place. I went from being a student to a full-time entrepreneur in like no time. So I just needed to be in those rooms where the conversations that I wanted to be having were happening, and you provided that too. So very grateful.
Oh, grateful for you for trusting, jumping in, and being such a fantastic member of the community, because you make everything easier and also more fun. You have the best sense of humor in the community by far. Now, who do you think this is for? Because we talk about athlete, about excellence, about success, performance. Do you think this is for everyone? I mean, what are your thoughts on what is the ideal profile? Who should join? If someone is on the fence, what would you tell them?
So this program is for anyone that's looking to implement everything and just go for it. I have had success in the program, quote unquote, because I was like, okay, I need this, and that, and I'm gonna go and implement, and then I'll come back and ask questions, and then success. But like, it's just not gonna be one of those things that you can just take and you'll see results. Absolutely not. Again, you need to be a high performance athlete mindset. Like if you want to win, then this definitely for you. Leon will make sure that you win if you let him help you. But if you don't show up and you don't do the work, and if you don't like apply anything, then there's nothing going to happen. For me, the massive shift was when you and I had a call, and then we identified my problems, and you told me, okay, this is what you have to do. And then you told me specifically how to time block my calendar. If I hadn't gone and applied that immediately within the next 3 days, then I would have lost the momentum that I already built with you, and then nothing would have happened. So it is simple to win with Leon and everything in the program if you're able to implement and consistently do the thing, which is my philosophy.
Absolutely. I'm also very breathing down your neck. Like every single client is getting my DMs, getting my emails. Hey, where you are, what are you doing, what you're doing. So I think that helps chasing everyone, because
Yeah, I love that. I was like, yeah, because I am the one chasing sometimes, like all the time. So I'm like, yes, yes.
exactly. I haven't seen you in 10 days. You said you were coming last week. Why are you not coming? Please report. And I have the full report so we can. I think
Yeah.
that's valuable, right?
I love it because I've taken so many courses over like like any entrepreneur that you probably speak to, like we've taken every single course under the sun. And something that I appreciated from you, and I think I told you, I was like, you don't have to message me, it's fine, I get it now. You're like, no, I'm here to serve you. And I was like, oh my God. And with courses, you buy the course and there's no contact with anyone. You never get any report, you never get any feedback, and you don't know if you're doing the right thing or not. And with you, it was very valuable that I knew I had your personalized attention, which makes the course even 10 times more worth it than what it is at now, because I know that you're truly interested in my personal success.
Absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't I sell you something that doesn't work or does not guarantee success? Like my own responsibility as an entrepreneur is to make sure everything that I provide actually works, and I have to make sure that's the case. I think that's a rare mindset, but to me, that's absolutely fundamental. Everyone has to have an ROI as quickly as possible. 2 weeks is pretty cool. But also because, again, this is part of the mission, right? If what we do doesn't work, why would I do it? So to me, that's very important. It really adds to the experience, right?
I love to see it. No, I'm very grateful, very, very grateful to be part of this. And I think this course is can be life-changing for people. It definitely helped me from getting out of a dark place where I was confused, didn't know what was going on. And I wanted to quit. Like I really did. And just being able to be like, okay, no, you can still move forward by doing this. And like, there's like all these case studies from all these entrepreneurs that have gone through the same thing. Then I felt like at home.
Absolutely love to hear that, and I'm very honored. to have you again on the community. You make everything more fun. And
Yeah.
now let's map out the next 3 months of intense elite performance, and let's see what results we can achieve together. Shall we?
Exciting. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you again for jumping in.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.